Okay, hi everybody, welcome to the Successful Showgirl. My name is Kitty and today is day 4 of our Boost Your Bookings bootcamp. So we have been talking about branding, marketing, visibility, and then today I'm going to talk to you about applying for jobs, okay? So first of all, first things first, to apply for jobs you obviously need to have your acts created, okay? So have you got a fully finished act with a fully finished costume, number 1. Number 2, have you got footage and pictures of that act, okay? They are essential for sending off to producers or agents or anyone who's going to want to book you, all right? Number 3, have you created a fee? Do you know what you're charging? Are you insured? Number 4. Have you got a risk assessment for that act? Number 5, and have you sorted out your tech info? So do you know when you're meant to be coming on and off? Are you starting on stage? Are you starting off stage? So I'm going to go through all these things really, really quickly. But first of all, I want you to think about, have you got footage and have you got pictures? These are your number 1 things, priority, for starting to get jobs. 1, you're going to need to use them on your socials to grow an audience, and 2, you're going to need to send them off to a producer or an agent, yeah? Obviously, the better your footage and the better your photos, the better quality jobs you're going to get, okay? But that doesn't mean to say if you've not got high level footage that you can't apply for jobs. You can still use rehearsal footage and go in for newer performer jobs, okay? They're not going to be the best paid jobs, but they're still going to get you a foot in the door, okay? So what I want you to do is make sure you've got some kind of footage of your acts, ideally in the costume that you're going to wear. The same with your photos. There's nothing more annoying than when you put a casting up and people are like, oh, I can do that, but I just don't have any footage yet. It doesn't matter if you've not got any footage yet, you're not going to get the job, because the people who have got footage already that is relevant to that job are going to get it. You've got to remember that you're competing against other people who are already established in the industry and have all these things. They've already got the footage and the pictures, so you need to make sure that you're on a level playing field with them when you're applying for jobs. And obviously, as producers, we know that if it's a newbie slot, you're not going to have like top quality footage. You might just have footage of you practicing your act in the studio, okay? So, but if you're applying for a higher level job, then you need to have these things. You need to have good footage and good pictures, okay? So if you take nothing else away from this today, it's to organise to go and get yourself footage and pictures of your acts. Whether you do that by doing a free show that offers free footage and pictures. That's how I did mine when I started. I didn't have any money to invest in what I was doing other than like my costumes, so I literally did a free performance where I got footage on a beautiful stage and I got some photos as well, and that was my stepping stone into being able to apply for better jobs, okay? You can do it like that, or you can pay a photographer. You can also do TFP with a photographer, which is time for photos. So basically you model for that photographer and they get to use your photos for their portfolio and you get to use their photos for your promo, okay? And you can do the same kind of swap with a videographer, or if you've got the money to invest, you can pay a videographer to record your full act. If I was going to do like a high-end version, I'd book like some kind of venue that's really, really nice, and I would record my act in that venue with a videographer. But I could only do that if I've got money to invest in it. If I've not, then I might have to do like a low paid gig to trial it out and get some free footage, or I might have to do a swap with a videographer or a photographer. Does that make sense to people? And there's loads of groups on Facebook where you can type in TFP models or TFP photographers, and you'll be able to join that group, and then you can advertise in there and say like, I'm a performer, I'm looking to get some photos and I'm happy to swap my time for pictures, and there'll be people in there who want to do that. Don't know, contact established photographers and offer that, because established photographers want to be paid in the same way that established models want to be paid, established performers want to be paid. This is for people that are just starting out and trying to get a foot in the door in the same way that you guys are if you're new, okay? You've got to remember everyone's at a certain level. If you're new, then that's great. If somebody's established, they want to be paid for their craft that they've worked really, really hard to perfect. Yeah, in the same way that when you're a high-level performer, you'll be wanting to get paid properly as well. All right, next, you need to set a fee, okay? So you need to have a fee for each of those acts, and they need to go off with your footage and your pictures, okay? If you don't give a fee, it's going to be more difficult to get the job. Like, I don't back and forward with people. If somebody applies and they miss something off, then I just don't bother, and I just go with the people that have like sent the right things to me, okay? So if there's an option between somebody who sent me everything and somebody who sent me half the stuff that I've asked for, I'm going to go with the person who sent me everything, because then I don't have to waste my time back and forwarding with them, okay? And I know that they've done this before, they're professional, they've got everything in a Google Drive folder, easy, job done, okay? And I teach people how to do this in my strategy course. I teach people all the things that you need, how to do a Google Drive folder. I even go through the tech of creating one, the tech of like uploading things to YouTube, the tech of music and stuff like that. All these things are really, really important when you're applying, that you make sure that you've got everything looking smart and professional, because again, you're competing against people who already do this in the industry, okay? So fee is next. I also have in my Google Drive folder all my tech stuff too, so that I only have to send it once. So I have like a folder for my act. So let's say it's my Martini Glass Act folder. And then in that folder, it'll have two bits. It'll have Martini Glass pictures, footage and fees. And then it'll have another folder that's tech info, okay? So if I'm applying for a job, they're only going to look at the first one. They want to see me pictures, footage and fees before they decide to book me. But if they then do decide to book me, they've already got my tech info, my risk assessments, my insurance, they've got everything. My music, I have my music in that folder as well as an MP3. Don't send YouTube links or Spotify links. People want an MP3 file of your music, okay? That's really important. If there's any way to piss off a producer or an agent, it's sending them a YouTube link or a Spotify link, trust me, okay? So you need to either go and buy an MP3 of the version of your music that you want to use. It's cost you like 99p or something like that. Maximum it's going to cost you like £3, okay? Or you need to use an MP3 converter and convert, if it's like a special version or something, you need to convert it through that, okay? So if you don't know how to do that, there's loads of YouTube tutorials where you can look how to convert something. I don't convert it, I just pay for the actual version that I want to use. And if I can't find that version, then obviously I'll do the whole converting it, or I'll just pay someone to do it for me. Yeah, because I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'd rather someone just do it. All right. And there's people you can ask to do that in this group. Bryony, is a music technician. She does all this kind of stuff. She cuts music as well. So if you need music cutting, there'll be people in here who you can ask who will do it for you. But obviously that's their skill, that's their expertise. That's something that you've got to pay for. Okay, so making sure that you've got all these things going on. If you don't know how to do a risk assessment, I teach that in my strategy course. If you don't know where to get insurance from, we go through that in the strategy course. If you don't know how to create an invoice, or you don't know how to find an MP3, or you don't know how to create a Google Drive folder, again, I go through all that in the strategy course. So all this stuff is in there if you don't know how to do any of that stuff. If you do, then great. Or you can just go on YouTube and you can YouTube how to create a Google Drive folder, how to create a risk assessment. You can just go on YouTube and do all these things. It's just more time consuming, isn't it, than if it's all in one place, all right? So other things that I want you to remember when you're applying for jobs is to read the casting properly. Now, this might sound really like, what's the word? Patronising you, but I'm not. Like, the amount of people that don't read the casting properly, like they don't read the date, They don't read the instructions of how to send it. You put in the email to email you and people DM you, or people just, even worse, the most annoying thing that gets me every single time is when people comment available. Like, that's great, but I want your stuff in my inbox. I want to see your footage, and I want to see your pictures, and I want to see your fee. I want to know that you've got all that stuff. I'm not going to come to you and say, oh great, please send me your stuff. Like, if you can't be bothered to email it over to me, you're just going to comment available, then I just can't be doing with that, okay? And every other producer is going to be the same. No one's going to chase you, okay? It's great to say that you're available and I'm sending an email. Like, if that was me and a casting comes up and I suit that casting, I'll say, I'm available for this, I'm sending you an email now, so look out in your inbox. And I'll also put a picture of me that's relevant to that job. So if it's looking for a martini glass performer, I'll put my best martini glass picture there as well. That just makes me stand out, and that person's waiting to see it in their inbox, yeah? So there's nothing wrong with commenting on it, but it's the way you do it, yeah? You've got to be like proactive. People aren't going to hand you jobs on a plate. You've got to go out there and grab them with both hands, all right? So think about those things. Have you got all those things together? If not, you need to set a plan on how you're going to do it, because this is the crux of getting jobs. If you've not got any of that stuff together, there's no point doing all the research into who you want to work for or creating relationships with people, because the standard stuff that you need, footage, pictures, fees, reading the casting properly, tech info, risk assessments, insurance, they are your main thing that you need to have before you ever start applying for any jobs. So I want you to really think about, have you got them? Do you know how to do them? And if you don't, that's your number one priority to get sorted before you start applying for jobs, okay? Right, that's the end for today. So I hope you've enjoyed this little week of mini tutorials. I'm going to keep doing them next week, I think, because I've enjoyed it. And I like giving you little bits of information. So let me know if it's been helpful. If it's not, then let me know that as well, and then I'm just not going to waste my time doing it. But if you've enjoyed it, let me know. Let me know topics that you think would be helpful to you, or that you are struggling with, or let me know, and then I can tailor these mini tutorials to you. Don't forget, these mini tutorials always go on the YouTube channel as well, so you can catch up on YouTube. So if you go over to our YouTube, which is The Successful Showgirl, you will be notified whenever they pop up if you like and subscribe to our channel, okay? Right, thank you for joining me, everybody. There's no session tomorrow because this is my birthday weekend. So I am now signing out to go for brunch with my friends, and I won't be back until Tuesday next week. Next week I'm going to talk about ways to make more money as a performer, okay?